Today in Jurassic Architect, we are going to be talking about skins and variants. Hello and welcome back to Triclaw Gaming with me, Fletcher. And today we tackle the question of skinning and variants and how you can use this to improve your parks. Jurassic World Evolution 2 offers a huge range of skins for every animal, and for some even more thanks to model variations and film skins. Now I know it's probably very easy when you're creating your sandbox parks to just hammer that random button in the genetic menu and leave it at that. But there is so much more that you can do with skins and variants. Let's look at some specific things right now. Number 1. Biome-specific skins. This is probably the most simple way of adding interest to your parks using the skin system. Specific skins for specific biomes can help make your dinosaurs more interesting, especially if you tend to use the same sorts of animals in most of your parks. Consider what sorts of colours naturally occur in the biome and match them up to the primary skin colorations for each dinosaur. Let's do a few species together, and let's start with desert biome. For this, we can look at skins with a sandy coloration to them, oranges, yellows and browns. For the Amargasaurus, Sonoran Desert results in a very nice orange, mirrored by mangrove forest, which just changes the spike colours a bit. Death Valley and Great Sandy Desert gives you two variations of a yellow skin, while Limpopo River gives you a rich brown and white coloration. Or let's take Majungasaurus. You have Sonoran Desert, Salar del Huasco and Svalbard for three versions of a burnt red-orange skin with different values of darkness. You also have Death Valley and Amazon Rainforest for two levels of a sandy yellow. Let's consider a temperate biome instead. Here we can look at mostly browns and greens. For example, looking at Oranosaurus, we have various versions of green with the Chaplin Valley, Amazon Rainforest and Gambian River Basin skins. We also have various versions of brown skins with the Great Sandy Desert, Salar del Huasco and Limpopo River skins. From here, you can select patterns to go with them if you want one. Not all patterns go with all primary colours, so it's best to try these out in the species viewer to determine which ones work the best with what colour. Number 2. Creating skins to mirror real life animals. So another way of designing set skins is to use real life animals as inspirations, both for patterns and main colours. You could even look for specific animals from specific biomes you're playing in for further inspiration. Let's look at a few examples. How about a prehistoric zebra? Well, Yukon River and Rana on a Maiasaura works quite well for this. Or how about Quillian Mountains and lithobates on the Iguanodon for a much better version? What about a tiger? Mangrove Forest and Rana on Ceratosaurus works quite well. Or how about Sonoran Desert and Rana on a Monolophosaurus? How about making a secretary bird out of Oviraptor, giving it the Yukon River and the Pulcrana pattern? Make a cheetah out of Megalosaurus with the Death Valley and Pelophylax skin. Using real-world animals as inspiration can really help with selecting skins, biomes and dinosaurs. Number 3. Using variants as other species. So Jurassic World Evolution 2 has a number of species that do come with model variations. Now, with a little bit of imagination, you can use these model variations to represent animals in your park that we do not have yet in game. This is especially useful if you're building a park with a particular country in mind. For example, you could use the 2022 model of the Dreadnoughtus to represent Argentinosaurus in your parks. You could use the standard design of Giganotosaurus to represent Mapusaurus or even Tyrannotitan in your parks. The 2022 model of Iguanodon could be used to represent Mantellosaurus, a species of iguanodontid that's closely related to Iguanodon. You could also do similar things with dinosaurs that only have skin-based model variation. For example, using the feathered T-Rex to represent Tarbosaurus, using the 2001 Brachiosaurus to represent its close cousin Giraffatitan, or using the 2022 Parasaurolophus skin to represent Chironosaurus. Doing this obviously requires some degree of imagination on your part, but it's a good way of adding animals into your parks that may not be included yet. If this video is helping give you ideas for your next park, don't forget to like the video and consider subscribing for more tips and tricks to help with your park building. Number 4. Creating male and female skins. This is one way of using skins that does require a lot of setup, but can really help create variation in your park. Sexual dimorphism through skins can help break up those uniform color combinations in big enclosures. The most simple way of doing this is to not use patterns on female animals and to use patterns on male animals. Generally in the animal kingdom, males will be brightly coloured or have display patterns in order to attract mates. You can even increase this by adding lux skins onto males for the species that have them. This method also works well for ceratopsians, where the males can have the colourful frill patterns while females can go without. But this is a very simplistic method of creating sexual dimorphism. The more complicated method is to create dedicated skins by altering both pattern and main skin colour to create a much better representation. Now this often requires hours and hours spent in the species viewer to find skins and patterns that are similar enough to represent the species, but also different enough to represent the sexual dimorphism. Let's look at a few examples that I came up with earlier. Looking at Albertosaurus, one male skin variation I have is the Gambia River Basin and Pelophylax pattern. This gives males this rich red coloration, dark marbled head markings, and very clear and present body markings. Meanwhile, the female skin that matches this is the Sonoran Desert and Rana skin. Females have a less vivid coloration and a more subtle pattern. This Dryosaurus male skin here has a nice vivid green thanks to the mangrove forest colour, with the Calcarana pattern adding these white stripes and orange head markings. Meanwhile, the female Dryosaurus has a much darker Chaplin Valley skin striped with black pulcrana patterns. This gives the females a bit more camouflage, which makes sense. Or how about this? A male Rex with deep orange Sonoran Desert skin and black stripes thanks to lithobates. Meanwhile, the female skins use the Amazon rainforest colour, which is much less vivid, and Rana pattern, which is also more subtle. These are just some examples of patterns you can use for sexual dimorphism, and you don't have to stick to my methods. You could choose to make the females more colourful and vivid for some species, or you could even make skins for younger, non-sexually active males, as well as standard male and females. Number 5. Adding mutations. Now, I don't mean this to sound as mean as it does, but using the skin system, you can make singular animals unique amongst your herds by giving them a radically different skin from the others. For example, amongst your herd, you could make one animal an albino by giving them a very white skin with no patterns, or vice versa, you could make them melanistic by giving them very dark or black skins compared to the others in the enclosure. These would normally work best amongst packs and herds that have generally colourful skins as normal. You could also give an animal a totally different pattern or colour to the others in the herd to represent random genetic mutations or anomalies in their production. With a little imagination, you can make the skin system go a long way. The skin system and model variation system gives you many options for adding imagination and creativity to your parks. Hopefully, having seen this video, you won't be so fast to go to the randomized options. If this video has helped in any way, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe for more parts of Jurassic Architect. Until next time, stay safe and goodbye.